The fourth, fifth generalist endorsements started, the idea started a number of years ago, maybe 5 years ago, and what principals were running into is, as you know, in Ohio, we've got the pre-K through third license, we've got the middle childhood license, and then we've got the secondary license, and a lot of principals were running into these problems with, we've got somebody who's licensed pre-K through 3, but we need somebody to teach 4th grade, and you were teaching 3rd grade last year. And so they've come up with these ways of both adding the 4th, 5th onto the early childhood and adding those grade levels also onto the middle childhood as well. So we designed this program and worked on it actually for years and got it approved by the Ohio Department of Education. And it's 4 courses, one in math, one in science, one combined course that's in literature and social studies. And then there's a sort of generalist course that talks about the nature and needs of children of this age and talks about some general issues about educating them. And so we're just getting started with that. We have one of the instructors who's here with us today. And this next semester will be our first time starting it. I think for students, I mean, that's sort of the faculty perspective. We worked on this program and now it's gotten approved and now we have it to offer. For students, there's been tough competition out there. And so I know students have been looking for, what's something that'll give me a little bit more marketability out there in the market. So it's like, yes, I can do this, and I can do this, and I can do this too, and then somebody who's doing the hiring is more likely to look at you seriously. As well as you get wonderful experiences learning even more from some of our other faculty. So I think that's it. Everything I know about the 4th, 5th, or at least for now.
And how many people are working in their undergrad? Okay, and then graduate? Okay, what program are you in? Early childhood?
Yeah, the curriculum and instruction.
Okay, because there's a couple, basically what I would want to show today is just how you, add this to your program of study, this program if you're interested in doing it. And so as an undergrad, all the courses are offered at the graduate level, but as an undergrad you can take 9 hours of graduate credit in your last 30 hours. So if you're going full-time, your last 2 semesters. If you have space in your schedule, you can add up to 3 credit courses?
I'm just nodding because I figured you knew.
Oh,
this.
I do. Let me check which.
Yeah.
They're 3. So you could take up to 3 classes. If, like I said, if you had space in your schedule, there is some you have to be in good academic standing and have a certain GPA. But what I brought here is a pile of different papers, because of course you can't do anything without filling out a paper. So we have, if you are an undergrad, there is a form that you have to fill out, and I can leave them in the back so that you can get permission to take the course. And so if you can take 2 or 3 classes, you might have only 1 or 2 left after you graduate. Once you graduate with your bachelor's degree, you'll have to fill out another application to get in as a graduate student. So you fill out a graduate admission application, so then you can finish, how many courses you have left at that time. So that process, if you're an undergrad and interested in taking courses as an undergrad, you'd have to fill out a form that we would have to sign and the instructor would have to sign, and then it's submitted to 411. And then to finish it out, you'd have to reapply to graduate school. For the students who are graduate students already, we just have an internal form that you can just fill out to add it as a second program, it's a secondary program. And we have a program of study for that, so you'd have to fill that out so we know that you're seeking that endorsement, and it's very simple. We'll just add it so that you don't have to go through any type of admission process. So I have both of those forms here. Like I said, I'll leave them in the back. The program of study that I'm sure you guys probably have that.
A little bit. Well, first of all, this Dr. Tucker is probably the only time you're ever going to see it, because I don't go by Dr. Tucker, I go by Tuck. And everyone knows it's that, period. The second thing about this particular course that I have to teach, I really had a lot of time to think about it as of 2 o'clock last Wednesday afternoon. I got my phone call, would I do it? And I see the chair walked in, you don't refuse the chair very much. But when I saw it, I was very excited about it because I teach, I'm a part-time faculty member, and I teach in the course Emergent Literacy, often in the summertime. And then I do teach 305, 505, the content area literacy. But when I saw this, I was really very, very excited. First of all, I am a former 4th and 5th grade teacher, so that's under my belt. And then, also why I liked it, I thought, well, how logical. You know, I have too many students with this K-3 wonderful certification, but it does limit. And the 4-5, I'm glad to see it as a add-on, because if we went K-5, I think some grades would be cheated somewhere in the process. And this really makes it concentrated on 4th and 5th grade. Now, the course that I've been asked to teach is development and education. And having worked with Dr. Wheatley Carl for several years, we are probably in our area of literacy and early childhood constructivist bookends, which is really wonderful. So I have no problem when I got this thing that I know what it's built right on. Good old constructive education, which pleases me very much. The content, besides talking about, it's a lot about management and it's a lot about curriculum planning. And it also has in it, from what I could read, a very nice field component. And I've got to work that out yet, but I really do believe strongly in a theory into practice. And I do know that when we go out to the schools where we're going to go, that work will be tied into the classroom, and I probably will be there with you, so I will know what to tie in. But I think in terms of further on the content, I really like this notion of 4th and 5th grade. You know, they're sort of like they're not tweens, but they're sort of that period between the 3rd grade and the 6th grade, the middle school group. So I'm really looking forward to this challenge when I look at the content of the course. Also, I told a couple of you already, if you aren't going to take the courses next semester, you should, because the first time around, you know, there could break, you see. I got to work through this, so come aboard with me. Okay, so I think that's my general comments, Grace.
Language, art, and social studies. And Dr. Long, most of you probably have heard before. She is wonderful literature-based teaching methods. And she is a certified middle school educator. And also her concentration is social studies, so it's perfect. And Dr. Long mentioned this will be a blended course. And so online and blended, so you'll get the chance to have some few in-class sessions. And in terms of contents, of course, the combination of using the social studies, infuse it into the language arts, and also she wants to incorporate the brain research theories and how that impacts on the children in the development and learning. And in terms of assignment, you will expect a midterm project and a final project, and also like talk. Good. She will have a field component, and that will be something they are thinking about, maybe have some cooperation. So there might be something coming up very interesting in their collaboration. And so that's Dr. Wong. And the next one is food for thoughts. I know some of you might be wrestling between 4th, 5th endorsement and reading endorsement. So let's talk about it. So hoping that from faculty, students, and administrators' perspective, to give you some thoughts about it. And hopefully, after you come out from this session, you'll have some perspectives and then helping you to make decision about that. I talked to the superintendent and about the hiring perspective. And here is what he said. He said, in the situation of Ohio State, it kept changing every single day. And so the school district, the policy is need to maximize the flexibility for personnel arrangement. What does that mean? More certification for a potential capable candidates, the better. So what does that mean to you? The more you have, the more marketability you have. So it's really a win-win situation for you to come. So the handout that we developed for you, if you could take a look at the one on top, it says Ohio 4th fifth grade generalist endorsement, I would like to point out some key things for you. So the top telling you about the fourth, fifth grade endorsement. The bottom is say CSU, some of the qualifications that Carrie already mentioned about it. The second page, the list of the course requirement. And then specifically, I want to point out page 4. The page 4, we have Dr. Steele here. She can share with you about reading endorsement too. But there are some updated information I would like to share with you. In terms of the third grade reading guarantee program, there are a couple of ways that you can become a third grade competent teacher. One of them is reading endorsement, and we have a wonderful reading endorsement program. And the other one is master degree. And then here is another one. Rigorous, if you could pass that's the fourth bullet. If you could pass a rigorous test that they already developed, then you can also be a third grade highly qualified, competent reading teacher. Okay, so these are the information I want to share with you. Wazi, who is right now pursuing reading endorsement and considering about fourth, fifth endorsement, to share with us about her perspective, her analysis of these two endorsements. And I'll share with you about my analysis, and we'll have other faculty's inputs about thinking about these two programs. Okay.
Hello, everyone. I am a master's degree student, as Dr. Wong mentioned, and I'm pursuing my master's in curriculum instruction, reading with my reading endorsement. She and Dr. Wong and I got together yesterday and just came up with a general schedule, an ideal schedule. If you were a master's student or a graduate student, you would be able to follow. Yeah, this one right here. Ideally, you will be able to take these classes starting next semester and be done by fall 2014. If you were a master's degree seeking student or graduate student. And these classes that has the asterisk, those are online classes, all right? Again, this is an ideal schedule. So of course, we have to, be realistic. Some people cannot, probably won't be able to follow this schedule to a T, but even if not, you will still be able to do it in a year and a half tops, and you'll come out with a fourth, fifth endorsement, your reading, and also your reading endorsement. This would be a great opportunity because, like Dr. Wong said, superintendents, principals, they're looking for flexibility. How marketable or how flexible can you be if you only have PK through third and your reading guarantee? You definitely need the fourth and fifth grade endorsement just for your own market, just so you can be more marketable. So when you're there sitting in front of a principal and he's debating on whether to hire you or Tom, he sees that you have all of these qualifications, you're sure in. So.
Thank you, Wazi. So it's very easy that within just 2 semesters, for example, you take fall, spring and summer, boy, 5 months, you're done, okay? And reading endorsement, it takes a little bit longer. So thinking about, it's possible to take both at the same time and then try to finish all of them in probably a year and a half. I think Wazi talked about it. And my thought is that for your opportunity, you need fourth, fifth grade endorsement. Do you need, and do you need reading endorsement? Okay, that's half question mark. But you need a master's degree. right? Eventually you need it. So why not taking a reading program and pursuing master degree? If you decided to just take the test, reading test, and pass it, does that make sense? So you'll be a third grade competent guaranteed, teacher. So passing a test, continue reading program to finish the master degree, then you'll have master, you have your 4th and 5th. So that's something.
K to 8 certification, so technically I could teach anywhere from kindergarten all the way through 8th grade. I happen to spend my elementary career in 1st grade primarily and 2nd, but I had those options, and so to a principal, I was very marketable because I had my kindergarten validation plus all those other grades. But I think taking advantage of this wonderful opportunity of the 4th, 5th endorsement provides you with multiple grade levels to teach, and honestly, it's in an ideal situation it would be great to try to integrate both, but most importantly, getting into the classroom is key. And then as far as the reading endorsement goes, the reading endorsement program really makes most sense when you have your own classroom that you can reflect on, because many of the courses require you to collect data, to analyze it, and it's difficult when you're not, in a classroom setting of your own. So I would, if I were in your shoes and I had to choose, I would go for the 4th, 5th first, and then, as Grace said, I would integrate the reading endorsement in my master's work, which really is the way in which the program was designed, as a graduate level program. So
Dr. Steele, how do you feel about both started at the same time?
I mean, it's certainly doable, and we certainly have a lot of people coming through the sequence that aren't currently teaching, and there are ways to allow them to get into classrooms to work on some of the field-based assignments and to certainly engage in their action research project.
Okay.
So,
All right,
but I
great.
think if you were in a, at a crossroads where you had to make a decision financially or schedule-wise, get the 4th and 5th. It will allow you more opportunities to hopefully get a firm position in a school system, and then you can work towards the endorsement.
I think the exciting part of our program is that it's field-based, and that we will have you in the field and being able to do the application. And I think that's where really, as those of you that have already gone through your field components, that's where it makes the difference, when you start saying, oh, so that's how that looks different, or oh, that really does make a difference in the sequencing and that kind of thing. So I think the advantage is that you'll be able to see it and apply it, and I think that's one of the biggest differences with this, is that it's you guys are the beginning of where we're heading with our CREATE model and stuff here at Cleveland State. You're going to be that first place where the coursework and that field work are going to be so entwined together that the application and the synthesis and the classroom management will happen at the same time as the content. And what we know is that best practice is showing us that's the best way for you to be able to gain the skills you need to be effective. So I think that's one of the exciting things, is that it is going to have an integrated component.
Okay, great, thank you. Thank you very much, and grab the booth.